Hi everybody, it's Heather. We're in the scraps bin again. You can see it's actually growing. More and more is added every day. Well, it's about time I got down a few, so I'm going to pick a few pieces and we're going to make some items to layer up into embellishments. Oh yeah, right then, I've grabbed a few scraps from the bin, and what we're going to do is just tear a few pieces from these are, you can see what I do, I die cut shapes. That's an envelope, that's an envelope, they're just punch holes, and I don't have time to deal with it at the time because I'm creating quite a lot of items, so I just shove it all in the scraps bin and then wait and deal with it later. But it's got a little bit unruly, so we're going to deal with it. And I thought, you know what, let's just tear out a few scraps. A lot of this is double-sided, some is, some isn't. And then what we can do is pick out some stamps and some ink and just stamp, random stamp images on them. And then we've got something to layer up, probably using music paper later on. So I'm just going to take you along for the ride. And then hopefully I'll feel like I've got down a few of these scraps. At some point I might just recycle them because it gets to the point where I just have too many and I have to deal with them. It just gets so full that it won't even fit on the rolling cart. At the moment it's on my office chair, so yeah, it's got a little bit big and I really need to tackle it. But it always seems like such a waste to throw them away. Obviously I could get a few more punches out of these, and it's good card, it's good paper and card, but after a while you sort of get annoyed with seeing the same colours and patterns over and over, so I feel like I have to chuck it after a while. That's a big piece though, so I'm going to keep that because I can get another envelope out of that. So it does help to process it every now and then. So, how are you? And what are you up to today? Shall we make that with a... I quite like it when it has the white around the torn part. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I think it helps to have it consistent all the way round, but I quite like that, the white core. I think it's probably a throwback from scrapbooking when we used to use the white core card, but it actually takes ink really well round the outside. Yeah, so how are you? What are you doing today? What project have you got on? I have done a little bit more, I need to tear it that way, don't I? I have done a little bit more on the paper bag, scrapbook, journal, whatever, but I had to stop because I was adding some cotton lace, and I realised I didn't actually like the one that I picked out. I found some in my little scrap jar and I loved it and it was perfect, but it just wasn't enough of it. So I thought I'd found the same one, but as it turned out, the one that I had more of wasn't actually the same, and it was too linear, too flat. So even though I did add it, I wasn't happy with the overall look. I wanted something a bit more scalloped, a bit more flowery perhaps. So anyway, I've put that on hold and I've actually been on Amazon and looked for some new cotton trim because I don't seem to have a huge amount in the beige colour. I'm not sure if I knocked the camera then, I apologise if I did. Yeah, I've got quite a bit in the white, and of course I could tea dye it, couldn't I, but it's actually easier and quicker if Amazon brings me some. So while I didn't order, because I tried to order a few moments ago and Amazon said there was an internal error, I will probably be ordering some from Amazon because they'll literally deliver it tomorrow. if I can get the order in quick enough. So I'll just tear out a few pieces of this paper just to get a bit of variety in colour. I think that'll be nice for the garden journal I'm going to make for my sister actually, so I might just cut some of that and keep it to one side for the tabs. This is from a scrapbooking, 12x12 scrapbooking stack. There's quite nice little images in here. I think that might be quite nice as well. So I'll chuck some of those to one side. That's quite sweet. I'll have that one as well for the garden journal. And then I'll use the other side, I think, for the stamped images. So what do you do with your scraps? How small do they get before you think, oh, I need to get rid of them now? And do you do this? Do you have a bin and then every now and then you just go through and process a lot of them in one go? I know some people sort of cut them out nicely. I know Corn says that she makes little packs and gives them to charity, and I think that's an absolutely fantastic idea, especially if you package them nicely, because let's face it, we absolutely love it if we get to a charity shop, or I think you guys in America, you call them thrift stores, don't you? Is that right? And then you find a little stash of crafty goodness that somebody's donated. And we all like those little paper packs, don't we? That's yeah, that's a nice idea to donate them. But mine are so scrappy that it would take so long to actually make them manageable when they're like this. I don't think they would be much use to people. I have donated a lot of offcuts of card to charity when they're larger, and I've sort of, you know, I don't want that pattern anymore, or it's just not something I want to use, or I've just got too much of it. Then I will I'll donate that in sort of larger packs, and also I give some away to my cousin who's a teacher, so she uses it in the classroom for collage. And my auntie is also a crafter, so she's had quite a lot. When I had my big clear out a few years ago, I had so much stuff, and it was when I was just sort of getting the business on the way, and I just realised I had way too much random crafting stuff, so I just got rid of a load of it. And luckily my auntie, being a crafter as well, just took boxes and boxes of the stuff from me, so it meant I didn't have to deal with it. I actually really like that colour, it's nice. And it's good if you've got a few good punchers, you can punch out pieces. That's quite nice to donate as well, isn't it? If you can punch out a few different shapes and give those, but it's the time involved. This will be nice to make a few clusters anyway. And I've been wanting to do a bit of stamping for a while, so it's a good excuse. I think scraps are great if you can store them, if you've got the space for them. It's nice having variety. It's like going to charity shops, isn't it? It's just nice sometimes to have a bit of a variety to look at. Because when you go into normal shops, everything's sort of samey, it's all in collections, whereas my brain is very much, it likes random sometimes, so it's It's nice to go into a shop and just, you never know what you're going to find. It's like a little treasure trove, little treasure hunt. So that's quite a big piece as well, so I'll get something else out of that. I might just keep that to one side. And now I'm making a horrendous mess of my desk. So I need to pop some bits to the side. I think that's my computer shutting off. Now this is getting a bit unruly, isn't it? You end up creating more of a mess. Trying to tidy up sometimes. So what's the best project you've ever seen involving scraps? And do you have any recommendations for YouTube videos that you've seen that involve the use of scraps? I know there are some out there. I probably should have just searched, shouldn't I? Because it's terrible. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? I want to get a bit of variety. I do like that floral. I can get a couple of bits out of this. Well, that's the tiniest piece ever. And then I'll ink around all these. I won't do that on camera probably. Okay, I think we're probably done now. I've torn out quite a lot. I've got a good variety. None of it actually goes together particularly, but I've got some funky colours in there and I like what I've got. So now I'm going to have to tidy this up and then we'll... Okay, I'm back. So I've got my little set of cluster torn elements, bits of paper, and I picked out a few stamps, and these ones were just eBay, I think. So I think they probably just came from China. I don't know who the designer would be for these. I got those because I wanted to do them on junk journal pages actually, to add a bit of interest, but I haven't used them yet. These ones are Kaisercraft, and I obviously have used one of them because I've no idea where that's gone, and also this is the same brand, so I picked those out. I did actually have these lovely little rubber ones which I mounted onto that foam mounting pad, but unfortunately it stuck to the Perspex sheet that it was on, so I don't think I'll be able to use those unless I stick them onto a block or something. Anyway, so I'm just using black ink and I'm going to just randomly stamp images onto the pieces of paper, and I don't expect them to all come out particularly clearly. That's not the objective today. I just want partial images. If they don't stamp particularly well, that's absolutely fine. It's just to add a little bit of interest to the scrap pieces of paper when they're laid up. So it's actually quite a bold image, isn't it, when it's done in black? maybe I should have done some in brown as well. Maybe that would look good. But anyway, we've got that on now. Let's do this one. I think I'm just going to do cute. I don't want that spotty, I'm going to do that on the green. That's quite pretty, but we're using this one. Let's go with this one. I like that. I do like the colour of that paper. And I really like this stamp actually, that's nice. And yes. Okay. I am really liking these leaves. That's probably a bit too samey. Let's go with that one. We'll go with that side because it's got the images on already. Does that look a bit odd? Oh well. And we'll go with one more on there. Now, I don't know whether this will work. It might look absolutely atrocious, but I just want to try something a bit different. It's funny, isn't it, how the stamps can feel so different. The first lot were very flexible and rubbery, and this one feels very, I don't know, bit thicker. Well, like that, that's nice. Cool. And we've got to have a butterfly, haven't we? Let's pop that on here. Yep. I do like that colour, so I am going to put a butterfly on that side. Oh, I've got to have one more butterfly, just one more. Okay. Now which one? Oh, dragonflies, they're cute. Should we pop them both on? I seem to be working in threes today. That's nice. Because I'm actually covered in ink now as well. And right, let's do the one of the birds on here. one. I'm not loving that one. I think I will, do I want, quite like the border. Ooh, that's very long. So I'm not going to be able to get all that on. So we're just going to ink up that. That's quite linear, isn't it? Let's do it on here. And yeah, I'm not sure I like that actually. And we'll go with the music. No, it's stuck so well on there, I'm actually just going to leave it on there. I'm a bit slapdash today. I like that, that's worked. Shall we go with that one? And that's quite nice. The problem is it has got a bit of a hard line, so I'm going to go all the way over. There we go, lovely. Right, so we've stamped all those up, and now I'm going to move those stamps out of the way. I did find this punch, and I punched out a couple of circles, so we'll just use these for the smaller images. Not that it matters, obviously normally you'd use that on a stamp anyway, but I'm thinking that might be nice to layer up. And I've got a little bit more craft card here, so I'm thinking that I might just do some of these stamps on the craft card. I might do some on the white as well. And this is obviously not authentic looking in the slightest, and they're poorly stamped as well. Actually, don't like that one, the way it's come out. I think that needs a bit more pressure, so I'll put that on there. Let's try this one. This would probably work better on a lighter background. That's not too bad. That'll be quite nice for layering up. So they're my little barber scissors, and we'll cut them out so you get that lovely raggy. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that, I really do. I don't know what it is about it. Just that gorgeous torn strip that you get. I just love it. I don't know why. How sweet it is with all the little jaggedy edges. Just something really satisfying about it. So instead of actually using, oops, scraps. I seem to be making more, don't I? No, that's not too bad though. I did get rid of a few sheets out of the scrap box, so I have managed to make it slightly smaller. But there's always something going on in the business, always creating a few more. Lovely. I love those. Really happy with that. I'm absolutely covered now in shavings of craft card. I just thought actually, I've got these strips. I have a lot of these strips of craft card, because when I guillotine down larger pieces I end up with strips like this, and I can't throw them away. I do some away sometimes, but not if I can help it. I do tend to pop them to one side and then use them. Now that is really nice. I like that. So it's almost like a ticket, isn't it? I like that. So I think they would make nice ticket strips almost. And then that way. So you get that gorgeous spiky bit on the end. I really like that. So I found a way of using those strips now. Oh, how satisfying. And I can use those for layering up. They're quite hard on the old fingers though. Cool, I like that. Now look what I've done. I've created more bits and bobs. Okay, so we've got a few bits anyway to layer up. And what was I going to do with these ones? I was going to use the script stamp for those. So, I can focus now, can't I? And do this. And then eventually I'm going to have to actually do something with these and layer them up and make some embellishments. That's pretty. Yes, I like those. And I've got too many really to actually use today. But then I'll layer some up and we'll see what they look like. And let's do a couple on circles as well. I really love this script stamp. Right, okay, I think I better leave that at that, otherwise I'm going to be just stamping and nothing else. Right then, so I'll just put this lot away and then I'll get to layer. Okay, before I do the layering up, I've decided I'm just going to add a little bit of ink to the edges, and it's okay, I'm not going to make you sit through this. I'm going to have to go in a minute because I've got to go and pick the youngest up from school. But just so you know, this is part of the process, and when I come back and I do the layering up, hopefully all these pieces will be nicely inked, as well as my fingers, it appears, because they are also covered in ink right now. So I shall see you later. I've decided to split this video in half because it was going on quite a while, and I've already created all these wonderful scraps to layer up into embellishments, and I'm going to add them onto envelopes. So see you soon. Bye.